You're always on.
I'm always on.
You are always
On now. Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Springs. I'm Rev.Beverly. And this morning, I'm so happy to see so many visitors. This is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Well, we've heard a lot about this being a Silmar and about 20 of our members going to a Silmar, but I want to just add to that. Dr. Michael is taking his husband to a Silmar for the first time, and so they're all probably going to be watching our video, and we have to have a shout out to them, and knowing that we send our love from from our very center of our heart to them. And one of the things that about a Silmar you may not know if you haven't gone, you never have to make a bed, you never have to fix a meal, and you never meet a stranger. Out of 800 or 900 people, it is all like, you've known them for all of your life. It's that kind of experience. So I say start saving up for next year. You'll be glad that you did. And Doug, would you please come up front? You were already speaking about your experience at the Silmar, and knowing you've been our intern and now you are Reverend Doug to us. And we had our practitioner meeting on Friday evening, and so we wanted to acknowledge you in a special way today at the service. So Ricky, would you please do the honor?
Everybody should have a Miss America experience.
Only in Palm Springs, so there you go. You're welcome. Thank you. I know Doug is all relaxed and renewed and revitalized, and we're so happy to have him as part of our spiritual family, being available for service and classwork. So it's going to be an exciting time for all of us. So as I was listening to Dr. Michael, he set a tone for our theme, I should say, for the year. And that comes to, I have to have some props here. Let's see what we have. There it goes. Anyway, the theme was set through richer living, 365 days of richer living. And August the 7th, as we've already heard from our practitioner, Ricky, is a very interesting title. And I wanted to follow that. I'm determined to know the truth. And I found that I had to take that into meditation. And the last line, I'll read the last few lines of this. I am determined to know the truth this day in all people. I behold God's perfect man in all situations. I behold the glory of God unfolding. I expect miracles to happen, for nothing can inhibit the action of God, which is the truth of my life. So taking that into meditation and prayer, it came up as my title today as God's Bucket. So as God's Bucket, you can see we have our celebration. And we celebrate all of you. And so with that, in God's Bucket, there's always something that we could probably use, I'm sure. And one is a mirror. You probably, if you're taking classes, you know why we would have a mirror. And then we have those aha moments that happen when you take classes. And so all of the little things that happen, we believe in one power. And then how many of you have a spiritual practice? Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. And then how many of you use affirmations? There we go. Okay, this is going to be easy. Meditation. Oh boy, we have a good showing of hands here. And then affirmative prayer. What about prayer? And how many of you absolutely sit and maybe use a practitioner when you have something wonderful to share, or maybe when things aren't going so good? Well, that's an area that we might want to look at. Okay, and then we have visioning. And how many may have made a vision board? Okay, we're getting there. And then classes. How many have enrolled in any of our classes here at the center? Good show of hands. Okay, you have an opportunity coming up in September. And also in October, I'll be doing afternoon class on Rumi. So that'll be an exciting adventure. And then it's very important that you understand how powerful practitioners are in your life. This is part of the things that are woven through the talk. So that's how I came up with God's Bucket, with all these wonderful things in here. So at this time, I'd like to call up my assistant, Roberta Alexander, and she is a practitioner here at the center. So, just take, just use one. Just pick. Just do the first one. Then we're gonna read that.
Yay, Roberta.
Okay, so can we read this together? There is a power within you. It will respond to you. Okay, thank you. So this is part of our first part of the talk will be about the power that's within you. Thank you very much. Okay.
You ready for number two?
No. Okay. I'll let you know. Well, we're going to have fun with this. Being it's recorded, Okay. Best laid plans. Okay. So the power is within you, and the power is within your word. So we all use our words. And when you come into this teaching, there's a different response to using your word. So even Moses spoke about the power is in your word. So that could be a blessing or a curse. So the vibration of your words can be that curse. For example, if you do a lot of complaining, and what about criticism? And what about judgment? And then it's always blame. It's their fault. So that creates your experience. You do enough of that. And remember, life is a mirror. So it reflects back to you. So when you speak any words with power and that has a lot of meaning, that feeling level, you're going to create that in your life. So it's like having poison in a glass and you are drinking it thinking the other person is going to die. Because you're the one putting these words out. And it does cause a disease in your body. If you have a lot of frequent colds, and you have a lot of headaches or maybe a lot of upset stomachs, and you really don't know why, well, think about the power that you're using when you speak. So those words can affect your body tempo. And when you use the words as a blessing, that's a whole different feeling about that. So when you have compassion, and you have respect, and you have kindness and appreciation, and that experience really feels pretty good. Especially when you're around your family and friends. Those are things sometimes we really need to remember. How we speak to them, how we treat them, because that outpictures in your life also. So when you go out into the world, you never meet what I call ill effects from the words that you speak as far as respect and appreciation. That's going to come back to you. So it's really one of my favorite ways of looking at this. I love music, and John Lennon's song, All You Need Is Love. And that is really absolutely the most powerful thing that we can do. Now, when I first came into this teaching, which is a long time ago, I had a lot of words that I used. I can't do this. It takes too much time. I can't be bothered. I can't. And my life was full of that kind of stuff. It was just absolutely everything I looked at, I was blaming It's their fault, it's this, it's that. All of those affirmations, because we put our words together and we start affirming what we speak about, and it actually outpictures in our life. So I had a challenge of procrastination and not enough time. So over the years, this is my experience even preparing for this talk, over the years I've just accumulated a lot of blue plastic tubs in my 2-car garage. I mean, it's, procrastination and putting things off. It starts piling up. And it was getting me to, every time I went out there to do a load of laundry, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, look at this mess. It's turning into a hoarder. It's like it's awful. And so I saw that at the beginning of January of this year. I said, well, I'm going to make a change about that. So it took me a lot of prayer work,